Hi, I'm Imogen Lamport from 16 Style Types, and I'm here with my co-creator Jill Chivers. And we are here to tell you all about our new online membership program called Your Type of Style, Unlocking Your Style DNA. It's a really exciting program. It's unlike any other style program that exists anywhere on the internet. Nothing that Jill or I have ever done before, and nothing that anybody else has created either, because this is a 12-month program based on the 16 personality types that are often known as the Myers-Briggs types, and how they influence and impact on your style.
Yeah. So we're excited about this because we are the world's first to link the 16 personalities to style in this intelligent and in-depth way. And this program has come about based on feedback of women who had their style type report and wanted more. And what we want to tell you about today is about some of the outcomes that you might expect if you participate in this program, which we would love to have you join us. So we're going to share with you some of the outcomes that others have experienced with the program, but just a couple of things about outcomes before we get started. Outcomes often suggest a destination, and there certainly are a number of stop-off points on this, but we really have designed the program, first of all, based on best principles for adult learning, and secondly, based on the idea of a journey metaphor. This is very much a journey, and our experience of working with type and with women in their style is that that is often a journey that really never comes to an end, that you can have lovely places where you stop for a while and you take in the view and you enjoy where you are, but it really is an ongoing journey. And so from that perspective, we have designed this journey in a way that has all these beautiful things for you to explore, but what you explore when you get there will be personal to you. And so we're going to share what others who have traveled on this journey, when they have stopped at these places along the journey that we've designed, what they have experienced. And that will give you some really great ideas on the kinds of things that you might expect when you join the program.
Yeah, I always say that style is a journey, not a destination, because life is a journey. And
Right.
so, the destination is death. So, let's not go there. So let's think about that. Style is ever changing anyway. It's never going to be I've done one thing and it's that forever. With style, it grows and it changes with us. And that's really why it is a journey, not a specific destination, but there are still outcomes along the way. And so one of the things that this is both a type-related program and a style-related program. And so we come at it from both angles. So there is an ENFJ who did the program with us, who one of her biggest things, she said, was that responding to questions about early influences and their messages and what she picked up in her life about style gave her an opportunity to pay attention. And that as a result, she gained real healing, which she's really grateful for. She says she now feels like a healthier, stronger person than she was before the program. And I think that's something that many of us don't take into consideration, is how those messages we've had in the past are actually impacting upon us now and will continue to impact if we actually never look at them.
Yeah, a really important part of this journey that you're on. We layer the journey metaphor by having you look at your style journey and the messages that you picked up along the way. And of course, a lot of those messages can go way, way back, and we've internalized them. And we may never have paused in our style journey where we are now as grown women to check back and see where some of those things have come from. And the important part of that is how they're impacting us today. That's the important part of it. This isn't just a blast from the past. Let's look in the rearview mirror just because, we can. It's because of the impact that they have on us as we move through life and as we make style choices. And some of those style choices are being impacted by things that our consciousness is extremely low about. And also it can be incredibly empowering to think of some of the messages that you picked up that have led you to feel more confident and better about yourself. So there's a whole, spectrum of messages that you can get. And this whole idea that you can be stronger, that you can be more confident, more empowered, and you really feel like you inhabit yourself. This happens a lot when people come to learn their type. It's a fairly a natural consequence when you take your type journey, your psychological type journey. When you add style to it, wow, do you get an empowering combination, that mix. You can't beat it with a stick. It is just phenomenal what it gives you in terms of how you feel about yourself and how you feel about your style and how you're expressing that.
Yeah, there's so many things that when you learn about your type and its influence on your style and your entire life, like, this is not just a style program. You'll discover it's actually a life program. And I think that's one of the things that our participants who've done the program have really discovered, that this impacts in a really positive way on their entire life. But it's even the simple things. Now, shopping, we're all told by the media that everybody loves shopping and shopping is so amazing and all women love shopping and all women want to do is go shopping. And we can tell you for certain that there's a lot of people that don't feel like that. And so particularly if you find shopping hard in some way, and it could be that you tend to shop, you're an over shopper, or you tend to shop too frequently, you shop for emotional reasons, or it could be that you find shopping overwhelming and you don't know where to go. There's all sorts of things. But one of our participants, an INFJ, she said, I see much more clearly now why I've made poor shopping and outfit choices in the past. And with that information, I feel excited about the future because I can now have a better experience shopping, because when you can identify what's wrong, it helps you to change and to go about things in a different way in the future. And I think that's just one little outcome that one of our participants found. But it makes such a big difference because we're going to have to shop for clothes for the rest of our lives. So let's make it into an experience that's a good experience rather than a bad one, because so many women have bad experiences shopping.
They do, including those of us who have overshopped and treated shopping, like an Olympic sport, which I have. Most people know my background and history with shopping. So even somebody who loves shopping can have problems with it. Yes. And what's so fascinating about shopping, as you said, we all have to shop online or in real stores forever. Everybody has to do some form of consuming. What's interesting when you layer the 16 personality types through that is that shopping involves at least two processes that are directly related to psychological type. One is taking in information, and two is how we make decisions. And what we have done is we have linked those two processes, which all of us do all of the time, often with no consciousness of how we're engaging in those two things, to the act of shopping. And the idea that you now, it's like giving you a key. It is an individual key specific to your style type that you then get to personalize even further to you as an individual. And that's gold. That is a pure gold to turn whatever your experience of shopping is now into an even more positive one, or if it wasn't positive before, into a positive experience. That is incredibly doable if you have this key, and you get that key when you join the program.
Yeah, you get to decide what colour your key is going to be, what shape, what style it is. It's amazing. And so we also go into things like your gifts. What are your gifts? Because so many of us have no idea what our gifts really are in life.
That's right.
We can often think we can see other people do things that we can't do so well, and see other people's gifts, but we don't see our own. And so we like to shine a spotlight onto your gifts and what they are and how they can actually impact on your style as well as your life. And so, one of our lovely participants in the ESFJ said, working with identifying my gifts really stuck out for me, because so many things that are gifts for me, I didn't know were gifts. I just thought they were things I liked to do and didn't realise that other people just don't have those gifts. My gifts about style and harmony particularly were illuminating to recognise, because I've gotten compliments about these all my life, but it's also opened up a whole new world. And I think that's really something that's a great outcome, is to start actually appreciating your gifts.
Absolutely. And of course, type gives you this in bucket loads. Type is very neutral in how it describes each of the 16 personalities. There is always a description of gifts that come with type, and also what comes with that is a description of blind spots or suggestions for growth, which every one of the types has. When it comes to gifts, though, this can really be a missing piece that a lot of us have never had in our lives. We've either assumed that everybody is like us, surely everybody learns in this way, or everybody has this experience when they encounter X, Y, or Z. And what we learn for a start is that not everybody does. And that can be really important if you've felt out of step or you felt a little bit different. It can give you a sense of that difference is actually not only okay, but it's great for you. There's a legitimacy to that. But recognizing the things that you are just naturally good at and that those things have value. Now, applied to a style application, there's pure gold in this, because what we have discovered in our research is that each of the 16 style types has gifts applicable to style. And what we also discovered is that not everybody recognizes this going in. They either think others are stylish and they're not. Well, that's the most common one. And so to recognize that you, no matter which one of the 16 style types you are, you have a style-related gift. And that is fantastic. Oh, it's just so encouraging and empowering.
Yeah. So like the program will give you confidence in a way that you may not have had that before, and maybe also improve your self-esteem, but also might give you some really concrete practical things. So for example, one of our ISFJ participants, what she said is she loved the module where she created outfits, because she said that the outfit she created during the play shop, so that's the fun way of doing a workshop, work in real life and not just on paper. Because one of the things we can often go, oh, if I put this with this, and you kind of can think about it, or you might do it on a piece of paper or like in a photo, but they work in real life as well. And she said they made me feel pulled together and harmonious, which for an ISFJ, so key.
Absolutely. So this idea that we move between the conceptual and the concrete, so that's also, I'm using a little bit of type language there. So it's really important that any learning program have a combination of those two things. And we balance those things. So some people, the concepts are incredibly important. They can't learn unless they understand the concept. All of us need to apply, but how we apply is different through the lens of our type. So this idea that outfit creation, organizing your wardrobe, getting yourself, ready for a trip, all of these practical things that all of us have to do, that can be informed by type and made better by type. This is one of the things you will get out of the program. So rather than just following the latest advice on how to pack or how to organize your wardrobe or how to create an outfit, a lot of those things have a lot of value in general. We make them specific to your style type, and then you make them specific from your style type to you as an individual. So all of those things, they just become just more natural, they become more efficient, more effective, they become more you, they're completely tailored to you and your preferences, and those preferences come from your core. So they're not just good ideas, they're specific and tailored to you.
Yes. And in fact, just a small example of that was one of our ISFP participants who, spend some time in a warmer climate and other parts of the year in a cooler climate, and mentioned that she'd always been carting her wardrobe backwards and forwards, and discovered that she actually had two versions of herself. She had her summer beach version and her winter, city version. And that the clothes actually, what she needed is just completely separate wardrobes for each of those locations. Location made a massive difference to her and what she wore, and even how she wore it. So even the summer clothes in the city, the city location were not the summer clothes of the beach location. And that was a huge thing.
Absolutely. ISFPs, the most likely to be impacted by their environment. Now, that's a statement that's in the style type report. And what had happened for this particular participant is she'd read it, and because of for her, the obviousness of it, it hadn't really registered. But going through this program, there was this sort of sit up and pay attention, like how did they know this? And we know because type works. Type always applies, and what we've done is apply it to style. And through that, there's can be a sense of all these things. When I first read my style type report and I was just nodding my head and going, yep, I suddenly realized just the sheer magic of that. One of our other participants, our INTJ, when we were going through the section on the blueprint, said, I'd read my blueprint before. Now I really get how specific it is for me as an INTJ. Like, I'd read those words. I knew it was specific to an INTJ, but now I really, really get it, that you have put things in a particular order and put things in here just for INTJs. And that was a real sit-up moment for her to go, this is magic.
Yes. So we too want you to be feeling more confident in your clothing on a daily basis, which is one of the other things that one of our ENFPs has told us. She feels more confident every single day. So that is one of the outcomes we'd love for you as well. So why not jump on our website, join up for the program, and, you know, start with us this September to discover your type of style.